I understand the tickets got sold out in a matter of hours.
Yeah, no, it's a big one.
It's an epic one.
I can tell you now for free that 100% of those tickets were sold to Kaizer Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Because they are doing.
How do you know?
I know. I have my sources.
Great run. He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster. Rasmus.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Diski Preview Show. As we continue to cover the Soweto derby, it's part 2. Part 1 done and dusted. All the 3 points went to Orlando Stadium. To Orlando. But this time around, it's the Nedbank Cup final. My name is yours truly, Mr. E, and I'm in the studio with the man himself, Mr. Mo, who's going to be telling us his predictions, his thoughts, and what he thinks is going to happen. And is going to happen at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Yes.
Congratulations on the last prediction for the game that took place at the FNB Stadium.
Yeah, we're halfway there.
Yeah. People are beginning to have faith in you.
Yeah, they must. Must have faith in you.
Yeah.
No, Mr. E, that one we'll see what happens this weekend, but don't forget it's half of the prediction correct.
Yeah.
If it was a bet slip, it'd be running to next week.
Yeah.
So this week we have to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
If Kaizer Chiefs will do me a favor and prove me right.
Most certainly.
We'll see.
The action is going to take place at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. And let's quickly take a break. And when we come back, it's Kaizer Chiefs going head-to-head with Orlando Pirates. The date will be the 10th of May, and the venue will be the Moses Mabhida Stadium at eThekwini, where Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates will lock horns in the Nedbank Cup final. It's a big clash more. I understand the tickets got sold out in a matter of hours.
Yeah, no, it's a big one.
It's an epic one.
I can tell you now for free that 100% of those tickets were sold to Kaizer Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Because they are doing.
How do you know?
I know. I have my sources.
I watched the game where Orlando Pirates played against Golden Arrows, and I saw someone with a little placard there saying, "We don't care about the tickets. Who wait here until the game on Saturday." That shows how huge this clash is.
Yeah. I mean, for one, you have a couple of narratives you must always remember.
Yeah.
This one is a cup final.
Yeah.
This one is now a question of, will Jose Rivero leave with a trophy this season?
Yeah.
Will he not?
Yeah.
You
So
understand?
hamba kahle or not?
Yes, with the Nedbank Cup trophy specifically.
Yeah.
And then the third thing you must remember is Unabi.
Yeah.
Can he
Uzosala?
can he justify his appointment with a trophy?
Yeah,
Then the other narrative
but he's done well so far. More, I think
in
terms as far as the trophies are concerned, this is the first final Kaizer Chiefs is in 6 years.
Yes,
He's on track.
But at the same time, you need to remember that. How they got to this final also counts.
Yeah.
We tend to do this thing where we
But
care
they
more
claim
about.
the scalp of Mamelodi Sundowns. Isn't that good
Yeah.
enough?
I mean, you have to look at it. I mean, it's a two-legged affair.
Yeah.
They lost one. I mean, they won 1-0 in the first half, in the first leg.
Yeah.
Then they won 2-1 in the second leg.
Second leg, yeah.
If you look at it, they did well. And they earned their place in this final.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their pursuit for this trophy has killed their ambitions in the league.
Yeah, for
a top 8 finish, yes.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, at the stadium this weekend, right? 3 points, Puma.
Yeah,
Right.
Nedbank Cup yangena.
Right, top 8, Puma.
Yeah, and I must admit, we had a nice time there. We took some of our customers there. I think about 50 of them. They had a very great derby experience from all over the province.
And you see, that's the thing about Kaizer Chiefs. This season, I mean, in the Nedbank Cup, they've actually gone so far.
Yeah.
But I do always want to go back to that game against free agents. I feel like they were given a great start by like 9 free agents to play these guys.
Yeah.
It's
going to be an easy road.
You understand? But now they've earned their way there. And I think Mamelodi Sundowns also, you have to remember that it's not the Mamelodi Sundowns we know that face the Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's the same badge, it's the same players we see week in, week out.
Yeah.
But the difference was these players were trying to maintain their momentum in the CAF Champions League. Because don't forget,
which was a bigger picture.
Which is the whole reason why the coach got appointed at Sundowns.
Yeah.
Like I said, Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates and Sundowns, for the first time in a very long time,
Yeah.
they have different ambitions in their seasons.
In the seasons, yeah.
Because one wants to win the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, Mangoma Mngiti would have never been fired if the goal of Mamelodi Sundowns was to win the league, because they were already
Yeah.
top of the league.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why they got fired was because in the group stages of the Champions League,
Yeah.
they didn't look solid enough to go through.
To go through, yeah.
And then you look at the Kaizer Chiefs. The ambition of Kaizer Chiefs
Yeah.
is to get a trophy.
To get a
And-
trophy.
and-
And the trophy draft.
It's something I said in November to say that at this point, a top 8 finish, a place in next year's MTN 8,
Yeah.
is not
It's
going to
not good
justify
enough. Yeah.
to the fans,
Yeah.
to the club,
The-
that we have performed
Yeah,
better.
so the Kaizer Chiefs fans don't want the MTN trophy
No.
next year. They want a trophy this year.
Bafuna ukudlala trophy manje.
Manje.
Which is
Abafuna ukulina.
Which is an understandable
Yeah.
thing, Mr. E. It's
Yeah.
very understandable. And then you look at Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
They've been Cup Kings for how long? They've been Cup Kings for so long that
Yeah.
people don't even think of Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, as Orlando Pirates as the team to look at in the league.
In the league.
They look at the cup
The cup-
competitions.
cup competitions,
What's happened
yeah.
this season?
Yeah.
This season the cup competitions didn't go their way. So now you look at it and you say to yourself, okay, fine. What is the ambition of Orlando Pirates this season?
Yeah.
The ambition of Orlando Pirates at the end of the season
Yeah.
is not to win a cup.
Yeah.
It's to win the league.
The league,
Because
yeah.
they know
Yeah.
it's announced Ipege Africa.
Yeah.
Pirates is looking at the league.
Yeah.
And Kaizer Chiefs is looking at the cup.
Yeah, the cup. Yeah.
For the first time, they are not
They've got
vying
three-
for the same thing.
For the same thing, yeah.
So
but
that-
but looking at Orlando Pirates, I know it's still maybe not
Yeah.
early days as yet, but we've got a couple of games to go. Do you think they've got a chance? I know mathematically they might have, but do you think they're going to do that?
I mean, Mr. E, at this point,
Yeah.
you'll have to hope
Yeah.
the Sundowns has a massive, horrible run of games.
Yeah.
But don't forget that playing in Africa takes a toll on teams.
Yeah.
And
the traveling and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for Pirates,
Yeah.
the best they can do is keep the pressure going.
Yes.
They don't want to
Pick
let it
up
go.
all the 3 points available on their way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, out of their last 5 games in the league, they have 1 loss and 4 wins.
Yeah.
When you look at Sundowns' last 5 games in the
Yeah.
league, they have 1 loss, 1 draw, and they have 3 wins in the last 5.
Hence,
So,
you're saying that the Champions League took a little bit of momentum off
from both teams.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
PSL.
looking at a team now that has 3 losses this season.
Yeah.
Last season, we were talking about, at this point on the season,
Yeah.
we we're talking about a Sundowns that hadn't conceded 10 goals.
10 goals.
Hadn't
Yeah.
conceded 10 goals.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at the Mamelodi Sundowns that's conceded 13 goals already
13
this
goals,
season.
yeah.
So I'm just putting you into that place to say, when you consider how you look at the next few matches for these 3 teams,
Yeah.
remember what the ambition is for all 3 of those
All
coaches.
the 3 coaches,
Sundowns for them, they feel, and Utisha said this, and he said this not this season,
Yeah,
previous season.
previous season.
Ute for his Sundowns, it seems that e-league is a norm.
It's a yeah.
Yeah.
Their eyes are on the Champions League.
Exactly.
The second star.
The second star.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, with that being said,
Yeah.
it's safe to say that Kaizer Chiefs will go into this game
Yeah.
with a different ambition. You made the observation of the lineups.
Yeah.
You want to share that with us, and then
Yes, I looked at the lineup. By the way, we're at the stadium, right?
Yeah.
I looked at the lineup there, and I said to myself, okay, yeah, it looks good on paper, but unfortunately, they didn't seem to have any point of reference in front, unless if they wanted to play with an outright striker. Because if you look at Orlando Pirates, they had Unkota on your right and Makupa. You know you were going to get a goal from that. But who was supposed to be the outlet for Kaizer Chiefs when everything had been done in the middle of the park? You're going to defend, you're going to try to be creative, but who are you going to let loose?
exactly. And I think that also tells you the kind of thinking from Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
They were looking to try something new.
Yeah.
You wouldn't risk something new in a match you're trying to win.
Yeah.
So this false 9 thing that they did with Userino in that
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
and most of the time Ulilepo was the one playing ahead of
Yeah.
at the tip of the number 9 position.
Number 9
so
position, yeah.
there's a lot of rotation and a lot of fluidity.
Yeah.
I will say that from the Kaizer Chiefs I saw a few months back
Yeah.
at the Soweto derby previously
Yeah.
to the one I saw now,
Yeah.
there was a lot more control in
Yeah.
the way they played the game.
Yeah.
They kept possession well. There was less long balls from Kaizer Chiefs, which
Yeah.
was fantastic.
They put
It
the
meant that
ball
the
on the
players
floor.
were confident.
Yeah.
Even the marking structure was fantastic. You saw both goals from Orlando Pirates were, Bargal Suba. Like it was, they had to be pinpoint.
But the first goal for Orlando Pirates, that was a gift. I mean, they just
Let
let
him hop
Makupa,
in.
yeah, they just let him run, and
Yeah.
that was it. And I think, according to my observation, that's the problem with the Kaizer Chiefs. The defense line is slow. Dove is slow. What's his name? Cross. He had a very good game, but he's also slow. Quinika. Let me just keep quiet.
Mr. E, if we're in a back four,
Is that not a weakness for them?
no, Mr. E, it is a weakness, but you have to think about it from this perspective. Your goalkeeper is the last line of defense.
Yeah.
And as much as we want to complain about the centre backs and the full backs and their job that they did, you have to ask yourself that as the goalkeeper, you understand, you see the situation, you're facing it.
Yeah.
You're facing the situation.
Yeah.
The ball's coming in from the right wing,
Yeah.
or from let's say from the right back, I'm the centre back, it's coming in from this side. I have a blind runner on my left-hand side.
Yeah.
I start running. Obviously, I'm thinking there might be an offside trap, might have
Offside
worked,
trap, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You're the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You can't hesitate to come out and rush the player.
And rush the player.
By hesitating to come out and rush Umakopa,
Yeah.
you've given him time to look up, see where you are, and place the ball where he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, as a world-class goalkeeper playing in the PSL, you can't find yourself in a situation where you hesitated to come out running.
Yeah.
Number two, the ball went through your legs.
Yeah, I did notice that there was a big space between the defenders and the goalkeeper, and because of Mahopo speed, he outran Udove and Quinika. They couldn't even stop him.
But that's the thing, Mr. If the ball is passed correctly, I mean that ball was passed correctly.
Yeah.
You can't allow a player like Umakopa to get into that space.
Yeah.
You're the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You're supposed to rush him. He's not gonna have time to shoot.
Yeah.
You have to make yourself as big as possible.
And make the angle smaller.
Make the angle smaller.
Yeah.
But then you hesitate to come out because you think he knows taller.
Yeah,
let me go. So now it looks like, okay, fine, Bruce Vuma, why did you not come out earlier?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
As much as maybe you can say, no, it looked like an offside, or no, I thought Uzo taller. You're a goalkeeper. You're supposed to be brave.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be out from the blocks before even the striker makes the decision. You make the decision before the striker.
Before the striker.
That goal was a result of the striker making the decision before the goalkeeper.
Before the goalkeeper.
Because if you look at the nature of the goal, he didn't go around him, he didn't go over him, he didn't do anything smart. He just placed it between his legs.
Yeah, that was
and that's
it.
the end of that.
Yeah.
Which tells you that he had time.
Yeah. To look up and see exactly where he wants to go.
Because if you rush him and he feels you coming, you're like, ah!
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, oh my God, this guy might injure me.
Yeah.
He's gonna want to go for the foul.
Yeah.
But Makopa had enough time to make up his mind and show you that Makopa had enough time.
Yeah.
There was another opportunity in that same game where Makopa put the ball over the defender.
Yeah. And then
instead of putting the ball down and facing Ipale to take a shot.
Yeah.
What did he do? He took a snapshot and he missed the post completely. It tells you that this player doesn't have the composure.
Yeah.
But in that goal, the first goal, he had the composure.
He had all the time
what
that
was
he
the
wanted.
difference?
Yeah.
Because he knew that there was no one rushing towards him.
Yeah.
He knew that no one was rushing towards him, and that's why he was able to place that ball.
And then that goal came during I think that I mean it was a high press for Kaizer Chiefs, and then Shabalala lost the ball, and then there was a counter attack from Orlando Pirates, and many times we've seen that Kaizer Chiefs they fail to defend counter attacks. As I mentioned earlier on, that maybe it's because of the speed of the defense line, because possession turned over, 8 to 9 seconds back of the net.
But Mr. A, you need to remember that Gross did a good job.
Yeah.
He won that ball for Kaizer Chiefs because Pirates was on the attack anyway.
Yeah.
They win the ball. He tries to play a ball out to Shabalala.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I think maybe it's also a matter of not being aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Because that move that he tried to do only works if the player is right on your back.
Yeah.
If you open your legs and his legs are also open, the ball's gonna go through both of you.
Yeah.
But now you're meters away from the player behind you.
Yeah.
And you make that move, he's able to collect it. So now it tells you that I understand that Ushabalala made that mistake.
Yeah.
But now the recovery from the team.
Yeah.
They don't transition quickly into defense.
Yeah.
Because for about at least 2 passes, they were walking back into position.
Yeah.
So now it reminds me of that culture we used to have Maslala when we were still younger, where the team was not united across the lines.
Yeah.
Where when it's time to defend, it's the full backs and the centre backs' job to defend. When it's time to attack, it's the striker's job to attack.
Yeah.
Where we don't give each other support as a team.
You-
He lost the ball, Mr. E. But what did his teammates do? Because a lot of people are blaming him to say, oh, you lost the ball. Yes, he's a forward.
Yeah.
He's supposed
anyone
to
can
be,
lose the ball anyway.
Yeah, he's supposed to be smart. He's supposed to try and beat the man.
Yeah.
So at the Exalayo, as a team, I think if I'm the coach looking at that situation, I'm not angry at the player.
Yeah.
I'm angry at the player, yes, for trying something outlandish in our own half. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
But I think for me as a coach, my question would have been, my midfielders, where were you? You understand?
Yeah, they should have given him cover.
And also as a coach, why are you not coaching your players not to do such things in their own half?
Yeah, talking about that, I think we saw him after the first goal by Kaizer Chiefs. It was time for showboating.
Yes.
It shows that the mentality at Kaizer Chiefs for the players, especially the young ones. I don't know, maybe it's because they play a lot of street football or so on, but you can't do that in about 10 minutes.
But Mr. E, that's the thing. I think the problem at Kaizer Chiefs is a discipline issue.
Yeah.
And discipline, not in the fact that the players don't want to play.
Yeah.
It's the fact that the players want to play for the fans.
For the fans, yeah. And for themselves as well.
If you hear a lot of the comments the players make and the coaching staff makes,
yeah.
the fans.
Yeah.
The fans want results.
Yeah.
The entertainment will come later.
Yeah.
You can't score a goal in the first 2 minutes and think to yourself, we've won the game.
Yeah, we're done.
Because, and that's why I think, honestly speaking,
yeah.
if I'm a Pirates fan and I watch that game,
yeah.
I'm happy with the result. But look at the details of how the goals were scored.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that it's not like Pirates broke down Kaizer Chiefs completely.
Yeah.
It was moments in which Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates had to squeeze the ball in.
Yeah.
Mahopa's chance, it could have easily been an offside. You understand?
Yeah.
Mahopa's chance, if Bruce Vuma decided to go down with one of his legs like this, it's not going in.
It wasn't going in straight, yeah.
If you look at the second goal, if Mdusha Walala just recycles position, you just won the ball, we're recycling position through you.
Yeah.
You're a forward. You don't need to turn around and start running.
Yeah.
And just play the ball. Just play the simple pass, let's recycle the ball and go that side.
Yeah.
As the game matured, I'll honestly say, as the game matured, Orlando Pirates started playing their football.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people said Orlando Pirates came alive in the second half.
Yeah.
It's because they started to play the football. They had an overlap on the left.
Yeah. With Hoto.
With Hoto playing a lot higher.
Yeah.
And the reality is that that's the difference between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. Kaizer Chiefs goes into the dressing room at halftime. They come back.
Yeah, still
weaker.
the same.
No, they come back weaker.
Weaker, yeah. I remember Batu Mamela last time he said, I think it was on national television, that the problem with Kaizer Chiefs is that it's a 40-minute team. It only plays its best football in the first 40 minutes. When they come back from halftime, they don't have the second gear. That's it. So you can plan again.
What's happening in the dressing room?
Yeah. What does the coach say?
What does the coach say?
Yeah.
Because now you can't tell me that he's telling the players, no man, why'd you guys concede a goal? You understand? The goal of, at this point in time, I'm telling you, Kaizer Chiefs has quality players.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if I was coaching, I'd reach out for so many players. I'll move people into new positions. I'll find where they're most comfortable.
Yeah.
But also, most importantly, you need to put ground rules in your own half.
Yeah.
You can't have players trying to dribble out of their half. They have to pass the ball out of the half.
Yeah.
Why are we doing drills every day?
Yeah.
Why are we doing 3-touch drills every day?
Yeah.
One touch drills.
Yeah, one touch drills.
Is to get the ball into the opponent's half.
As fast as quick as possible.
Once we're there, Mr. E,
yeah.
I can repay you millions to be a dribbler, to be a smart player.
Yeah.
Do that there. You will never, ever, around the world, wherever you see football at a high grade, see a player dribbling out of his own half, except if maybe it's a Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
That's his language of football. But you, as a footballer right now, you're a winger.
Yeah.
We are cycling position. Our goal is to keep the ball. You can't try and risk it by trying to do a 10.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay, now, that was part one. the Soweto derby on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Now we've got another one coming up in a few days' time. That's going to be, I think, on the 10th of May at Tegwin at the Moses Mabhida Stadium.
Yeah.
How do you think Kaizer Chiefs will have to line up to try and stop the onslaught from Orlando Pirates?
I think nothing's wrong with the way they lined up.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, ground rules in your own half.
Yeah.
Just guys, no fancy things. Play the simple game. Play football the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
Clearly, Ulilepo has an eye for goal.
Yeah.
Try push him up into a central number 9 position.
And talking about Ulilepo, so sorry to cut you off there. Talking about Ulilepo, remember he's played with Nabi before.
Yes.
And I've been looking at Nabi's previous teams, the likes of Young Africans. They play direct football. But if you come to Mzansi, there's a specific Mzansi way that football is played. Do you think it's compatible with that? Is it difficult for him?
Mr. E, he can get the players there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing we saw with Ruben Amorim when he came to Manchester United.
Yeah.
In the league, they're not doing well, but in the cup, they're doing fantastically well.
Yeah.
It means that the players are gelling to the strategy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's not that he's not, I don't know if he's not implementing it everywhere, but if you look at what's happened with the way they beat Sundowns in the Nedbank Cup,
that game.
it shows that there's a different Chiefs side or mentality that plays in the cup.
Yeah.
It's his first
especially
season.
when playing against the big teams.
It's his first season. I think Nabi's biggest challenge is still to come.
Yeah.
Whether he wins the cup this weekend,
Yeah.
which I think he will, or not.
Yeah.
The main thing will be how does he create an exodus for those players.
Yeah.
You can't have Kaizer Chiefs are in a unique position in South African football where they can't offload players to anyone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because the moment they do that, the players, look, think about it. When you get a player from Kaizer Chiefs, you're getting a very expensive player, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you're not getting a very motivated player because they come from the biggest club in South Africa.
South Africa,
And I don't mean that by size of audience or fans. You have to think of the facilities.
Yeah.
There's a whole Naturena that you're coming from.
Yeah.
Naturena is a village. It's a whole village. You understand? With the best facilities.
Yeah.
I remember I was speaking to one of my ex-footballer friends who used to play for Kaizer Chiefs back in the day.
Yeah.
He said when he got kicked out of Kaizer Chiefs because of lifestyle,
and
he had to go play at other clubs.
In other clubs,
the biggest thing to adjust to was facilities. Because Monge in the Chiefs, suit. It's like you've just won the lotto.
Yeah.
Everything is, you understand? They play Kaizer Chiefs facilities wise is at a European standard.
Yeah.
So now you're taking a player like that and you're bringing them to your establishment. Ni trainer kule ground if itashiwe, if altashanga le trainer kule ground, maybe trainer 2 or 3 elangeni. Sometimes we didn't pay, guys. Let's
look for another one.
You guys
Selana with the drills.
Or let's go into the classroom and let's talk tactics.
Yeah.
So you're taking a player from that who used to come from big wages, who used to come from a hugely professional setup.
Yeah.
You're putting him into your team where you're still building your way to that professional setup.
Yeah.
You're playing in the PSL, but you're not at that level at Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
What do you think happens to the player mentally?
It's demotivated.
It's exactly that. So clubs are like, you guys have great players.
Yeah. Great
now,
players, great facilities, but things are not just coming.
Yeah, so we might take this guy and he feels got to win.
Yeah.
He might feel nothing win.
Yeah, it's a drop in standard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't play in a full soccer city now anymore.
Yeah. Now when we play games, only 6,000 or 7,000 people attend the game.
So the mental aspect of it doesn't make those players appealable.
Yeah. Then let's take a look at Orlando Pirates. We know already Jose Ribeiro is going, and I watched their recent match. I think they were playing against the Golden Arrows. I saw Batumbanu, the assistant coach.
Yes.
Yeah, he was active. It does show that he's ready to take the reins at Orlando Pirates. Yeah.
My question is, and I want you guys to answer this in the comments.
Yeah.
Why does Rhulani not come and coach Orlando Pirates?
Well, he's done that before.
Yeah. So
and then he went to a much more bigger project.
Is that dance?
No. Wida.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you think he's going to be able to come back to Orlando Pirates?
I
think the space is there. The space is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fake.
Don't you think maybe he should go to Kaizer Chiefs that is already struggling?
No. He must just go home. He must just go back home.
Where is home?
Pirates.
Not Sundowns.
No, that is.
They don't need him at Sundowns.
No. Rhulani must just go back home. He must go back to Pirates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe that's why things are happening in the order they're happening. Maybe it's time for him to come back home and go back to Pirates.
Yeah.
And Pirates can now find success in Africa and all those things.
Yeah, with all these all his experience on the African continent. Because to come to think of it, I mean they finished in the semi-finals of the Champions League. I think now they just need that push, that nudge into the final.
And does Rhulani not play possessions based football?
He does.
So where's the problem?
Yeah, there's no problem, but I don't know. My thoughts, if he's to come back, maybe Kaizer Chiefs. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think when Rhulani comes back, already he's in the country, right?
Yeah, he's
already in the country. Do you think he should go and coach Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates? Let us know in the comment section. And back to part 2, Soweto Derby. What do you think is going to happen on Saturday?
Saturday, I think Kaizer Chiefs will win it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. After watching Kaizer Chiefs playing in that derby there and losing 2-1, you still stand with that?
You know what, Mr. I always say that these competitions are different. Like I said, different ambitions for all these teams.
Yeah.
I think from a Kaizer Chiefs perspective, like I said, Unabi needs a trophy.
Yeah.
But not only him.
Else. Yeah.
Imagine if Bodas as a Kaizer Chiefs, you're winning a trophy. How much is it?
Hey.
And after all these years of not. But keep a bonus. Imagine maybe the bonus is probably ridiculous right now.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous.
So,
I can tell you.
also, Mr. you need to remember that these players are not blind.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you look at the Soweto Derby that we previously attended as Betfred to go watch,
yeah,
I said my review of that game was that Kaizer Chiefs were in such a mess that they couldn't allow Pirates to play.
Yeah.
So both teams
Yeah.
could not play football because the one team was not up to par.
Up to par.
With where football was at the time.
Yeah,
Understand?
yeah.
That was on I think that's the 1st of February.
Yeah.
That game ended 1-0 in favor of Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
It shows you. The previous Soweto derby before that ended 3-2
Yeah.
in favor of
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates.
I'm picking up a trend there whereby all the Soweto derbies they end in a goal difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
there's
there's always one goal.
Yeah, always one goal between
But
the two.
when you look at the previous one, you look at this one that just took place.
Yeah.
You look at the midfield play. Yusuf Maart, one of the players that I love personally. If I was coaching him,
I watched him. He was something else.
In person,
he was a beast.
In person,
Yeah.
because when you watch him on TV, you don't see all the movement. But intelligent player.
I think he's one of those guys there who do all the dirty work for Kaizer Chiefs, and people don't notice that. They only see him. Maybe see the problem with TV is that it's this small. But go to the stadium there, you see his off the ball movement. You can see him trying to break down the attack from the opposition team.
And
I think he had a marvelous game.
A lot of people don't agree with me, but if Mokoena was to leave the country, Maart could fill those shoes. But only if Maart.
Sundowns.
Only if Maart.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that I have.
So are you saying Maart is in the wrong team?
No, I'm not saying
very good player, wrong team, maybe.
Exactly. I've been saying that the whole time.
Yeah.
But the only thing that Maart needs to fix is effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, effort. He arrives late into situations.
Yeah.
He has the mind to know where the ball must go next.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he doesn't move quick enough. If the ball moves, he moves too goal to goal.
Yeah.
He doesn't move from corner to corner.
Yeah.
If he started moving a lot more sideways and he followed the movement of the ball, he would be one of the most effective defensive midfielders or holding midfielders in the country.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the ball, he loses sight of Ipolelagu.
Yeah.
So he'll play the touches, get the ball out of danger.
Yeah.
And then the ball will go across the pitch.
Yeah.
And he'll be very slow to get there.
Yeah. And you lose the sight of.
And then that's where Kaizer Chiefs' Achilles heel in midfield is that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because with Kaizer Chiefs, they'll try and play, okay, fine. The ball gets to Maart. Maart gets the ball from the left.
Yeah.
He moves it through the centre backs to the players, the supporting players.
Yeah.
He takes it to the right. Now, as a holding midfielder, you're a centre back.
Yeah.
I give you the ball. You play it long to the left back that side.
Yeah.
I'm still on this side of the pitch. Now we're all moving that way.
Yeah.
So now Umar sometimes arrives late to those situations. Which by the time he arrives, he can't affect the game. But in those areas where he's now playing his short passes, I think there's no one better right now in the country. But
fantastic.
Back to my statement I was trying to say about this weekend. So the Kaizer Chiefs, I think, will win this game. I think the players will come out to play.
Yeah.
I think defensively there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe Prince Vuma will come alive. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they also can score goals against the Pirates. They've proved it time and time again.
Yeah.
The only thing they need to work on is, like I said, it's either they pack the midfield with the second holding midfielder.
Yeah.
Play a double pivot.
Yeah.
Let Umar play the way he plays. Get someone else to play on the other side. Then they'll have a balance in the midfield.
Okay.
When it comes to the build-up play, Usirino has to get back into the midfield. They have to take Lilep, I think, and play him centrally.
Yeah.
You can't have a player with that kind of height.
We saw him playing centrally, and then he scored a goal there. I don't know why they always try and play him sideways.
In the second half, he's much more.
He's much more effective there. And I noticed that if he goes to the left, he can't use his left foot. He tries to cut in, and then it's easy for them for the opposition to stop him.
And I love how technical he is with his quick thinking. So just move him to the middle, let him stay there.
Yeah.
And then Seruno behind him.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
Oh, fantastic.
And then that's how you beat them.
Oh, yeah. We are about to get into the prediction side of things. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of the battles that we expect on Saturday. Maybe the first one, Mofokeng versus Dove.
Yeah, we saw.
Who's going to come out tops?
Yeah, we saw that it's a losing battle.
It's a losing battle for who?
It's a losing battle. I think with Mofokeng, the system, that's why I say play a double pivot in front of your centre backs.
All right.
That is to cage Mofokeng in.
Yeah.
Because the problem with Mofokeng is if you come with that approach of man marking him, Orlando Pirates have now developed a way to get him unman marked.
Yeah.
Because look at how they scored the goal.
The second goal,
You saw the second goal.
Yeah.
There was a pass to Mofokeng.
Yeah.
Mofokeng back to Hoto.
Yeah.
Hoto traps the ball, is in a bad position. Who's there?
Mufokeng.
And look, he's not marked.
Quinica was nowhere to be found.
But the thing is, he's not marked. So it shows you Guti. Pirates know how to play around this boy.
Yeah.
The only way to get that boy out of the game is to add numbers where it matters most.
Yeah.
That middle centre back.
Yeah.
That centre back It's like that centre back and
Yeah.
the double pivot. He's going to operate in there.
Yeah.
Create a cage. Keep him
Okay.
in there.
All right.
Make sure he doesn't move out.
Fantastic.
That's all
Kwinika
we do.
Nkota.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Another losing battle again.
I don't know. I think Kwinika can get it.
Yeah.
But also, I think one thing that I realized there is that their communication at the back is not the best
Yeah.
between the goalkeeper and the two centre backs.
Yeah.
So they need to talk. They need to talk.
They need to talk. Fantastic.
Between the three of them,
Yeah.
Dove or Dav,
Yeah.
Kwinika
And,
and Vuma.
and Vuma,
Someone
yeah.
must decide to talk to somebody.
Okay,
Because angeke sebenze.
Fantastic. The last battle, Umbokazi Nolilepo.
Hey, the thing is with Lelepo, I don't know if he has a free role or whatever happens, but
I think he has a free role.
His movement is too unpredictable.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you have someone who Makayo Adlali 9, then
Yeah.
Adlali 7,
Then Adlali
Atigayo Adlali 11,
11,
Makachi Adlali 10.
Yeah.
It's not easy to keep up with someone like that, but
Yeah.
I think it won't be a personal battle for there.
For the two of them. Okay. What do you think about the battles that will take place on Saturday? Kwinika, Dove, and Cross is not going to be playing. Maybe let's say Solomon's, because he might be robbed into that diverse line.
Yeah.
And we're going to be having Kota. There's going to be the likes of Fumakupa is also going to be there. Umofokong is going to be there. Let us know in the comment section. Now let's get into the prediction side of things.
Let's take a break before the
Exciting
prediction.
things. Okay, let's quickly take a break while Mr. Mo takes a look at his notes and then he's going to let us know what he thinks is going to happen on Saturday. You're still watching the Diski Preview Show as we get into the prediction side of things, the most exciting part of the show, where Mo is going to tell us what he thinks is going to happen on Saturday. Mr. Mo, we want to know who is walking away victorious on Saturday. Who's going to pick up the trophy between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates?
Kaizer Chiefs. Thank you for
Chiefs.
watching.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
There.
Kaizer Chiefs. Thank you for watching.
Oh, yeah. Those are the predictions of Fumo. He's saying the trophy, the Nedbank Cup, is going to Naturena for 2025. They're going to break their long drought of trophies. And if you are to ask me my predictions, let's do it nicely. Let's do it properly.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is the trophy, the Nedbank Cup, is going all the way to Naturena. Thank you very much for watching the Diski Preview Show. Until next time.